Welcome back to my channel, Journey with J and M. This is where I stay. This is my condominium, the high-rise building. As you can see, they have some very nice pool area. But there's not many people, no one swimming at the moment because I'm sure the residents are still afraid of the COVID situation. But it's quite safe. I have not personally went to it yet. Anyway, today I'm going to do another walkabout in Georgetown. This time around, I'm going to take you to another part of the city, maybe along this northern road area, which leads to Esplanade. And later on, I'm not too sure yet what I'm going to show you, but along the way, if I see things, I will just highlight them to you. So you come along with me, and then we'll see you together. And later on, I'm going to pop into one of my friend's place, which is another cafe or also a restaurant, because I have a friend waiting to see me later. So come along with me as we see some part of these interesting places in Georgetown. Okay, now just before we move to other part of Georgetown, I just want to show to you some of these restaurants and eatery places, cafe in my just down below in my condominium unit here. This is the wine house. They have started opening up again, probably about more than a month now. Used to be on this side of the apartment or the condominium. This one has been taken over by someone else. It's now renovating. They'll probably open up before Christmas. Alright, and just in front of us, a new apartment unit coming up, or condo unit, and down below is another place where a lot of entertainment. 2 or 3 outlets down there. I think they are starting to operate again. I'm not too sure when they're opening up, but one of the outlets is already open, which is called the I think a Trader Cafe, the one that I mentioned earlier on, that will be opening up soon. It used to be called Crazy Cowboy, and then it was named the Wine House. As you can see, some renovation going on, and they're finishing up the place again. Many of the outlets are still closed, as I mentioned earlier, except for 1 or 2 on the ground floor, the hairdressing salon, and next to it is I'm not sure, they're selling some kind of gold ingots or bullion, which has just opened up a week or so. So here we are moving on to other parts of Georgetown now. Oh yeah, there's another outlet in front as well, facing the main road, the Jalan Datuk Kramat. This used to be a bank, Malayan banking, and then they relocated, and now another outlet took over. But that outlet lasted for about, I guess, a couple of years. So this is a new one. It's called Uncle Don. It's not so many people yet at this time, but I think later you may have some crowd coming in. I used to come down here to chill out as well and have my food and dinner. Okay, we are back to Jalan Datuk Kramat. I will cross the road and take one of the lane to Northern Road. So we'll be passing through some areas in the inner city of Georgetown. Traffic is still heavy because it is just after office hour, and plenty of vehicles at this moment. So I will try to chance to cross if I can. Yeah, just a quick dash over the other side of the road. Okay, I will take this lane. This is called New Lane, or in Bahasa Malaysia is called Lorong Baru. This lane cut across to McAllister Road. And this is quite a famous small lane because there are plenty of hawkers and street food, quite popular with the tourists. The locals don't really like to come to this area because the price is quite touristy, quite expensive compared to other hawker stores in Penang. But once in a while I will just pop in because it's quite near my place to buy some food. Yeah, you can get practically all kind of street food, delicious street food in Penang. But there are but for most Penang guides, they would prefer to go to other places rather than coming here. I'm not sure whether they are opening up today and tonight. There are certain days that they are closed. So yeah, we are coming right to it. Normally at this time the hawker stores are all up, but I don't seem to see any activities at this point. Anyway, let's just see. This is a Hanwei Hotel. Quite I would say good, but mid-range hotel. Price range probably from 200 upwards. Maybe now it's cheaper as they don't have many clients coming in or foreigners. Quite a decent hotel. There you go. This used to be a massage center. It's now closed for rent. So, as you can see, many of these outlets are reopening. Some they have, I think some businesses are changing hands. Yeah, this guy took over. Used to be some restaurant, but it's taken over by the Ban Hiang, the shop across. It sells all the pastries and biscuits, local biscuits. Yeah, I think tonight the hawker here is not open except for this coffee shop here. Along this way, as you can see the white line, they are normally filled up with the hawker store. So I guess today they are taking a day off. So there will be probably about 20 to 25 hawker stores even on the next to the building. On the right hand side there will be hawker stores as well. So we are coming down to McAllister Road, which is parallel to Datuk Kramat Road as earlier on I came from. Again I will try to cross the road. In the city of Georgetown, you don't get many pedestrian crossing or where the light turns red for the pedestrian to cross. So you just need to be brave enough and dash over the other side of the road. Anyway, it's quite safe because most of the road here are one-way street. So you just need to have to look at one side of the road. But this is a two-way street. So I need to be careful. I have to look both sides of the road before I cross. Otherwise I'll be in deep trouble. This here, this shop here was operated by my friend. I'm not too sure whether it's still open at this point. They used to serve what we call this bakut chair, which is meat in clay pot. Yeah, I think it's closed. Yeah, it's up for rent. Used to be quite popular with the tourists. So with the tourists not coming in, I guess it's wise to close and wait for the next time when you have better opportunities and more crowds. Okay, so we are moving on to Burma Road. Yeah, so in the Jalan Datuk Kramat, McAllister Road and Burma Road, they are all parallel to each other, all within walking distance. And many small hotels along the way. I guess some of these hotels are not doing too well at this moment. They used to have what we call salesperson coming in to stay, and this kind of hotel is a lot cheaper compared to the one in the city center. But it's still very decent. Looks pretty quiet. This one is called Heliconia Hotel. Yeah, I think it's been well refurbished. It was rather run down the last time I knew this hotel. This is the futsal, Kinta Futsal Club, where you can actually rent out the place and play indoor football, or we call it futsal. There's some youngsters putting up their hand. Yeah, KFC. Nice name, eh? It's not Kentucky Fried Chicken, but Kedah Futsal Club. Quite quiet at this time of the day, but the weather is really nice. I like to come out and walk at this time of the day because the sun is already down, the cloud is has overshadowed the sun. And again, like yesterday, today is quite a couple of days ago. Today is quite a very nice weather, cooling. Well, as you can see, those block of building here, all are colonial building which has been renovated and rented out to traders and small business entrepreneur. But there not much activity now. I guess many of the outlets has already closed and up for sale. There's some furniture shop here. So lawyer office is open. This one here, I guess, is already closed at this time of the day, as it's getting to 6 o'clock already. Right, yeah, right in front of us, this used to be the Rex Cinema. Well, I remember dating some girls and enjoying myself in these cinemas during my younger days. But now it's been taken over by furniture company, Mako Home Furnishing. It's a very huge furniture store. You can get almost anything in there. I have personally bought a few pieces of furniture from this outlet. But again, as you can see, it's not really bustling with activity. We're waiting for the right time. People are not spending that much these days. Okay, we are coming up to Burma Road right now. Another busy street in Penang. There are a few major streets in Penang. One of the major streets is this Burma Road. Yeah, one of the few oldest streets in Penang. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut across to the other side, and from there I'll find a smaller lane. Chinese temple across the road, a couple of them in fact, and I'm not sure whether they still function as a temple or as an association. Some of these temples are not functioning anymore. It belongs to some clans and Chinese association in Penang. Hakka Heritage Center, Malaysian Hakka. Hakka is a Chinese ethnic group. There's one temple there. Yeah, there's a mix of style of building some very old colonial style. As I mentioned earlier in my video, most of these buildings are at least 50 to 100 years old. They were built by the early settlers who came from China. Most of them, I would say, are the early tin miner who managed to find their wealth, and they built this kind of houses. Some have British influence, Chinese influence, and basically that's that. There's a very nice looking temple across the road. This one here has been around for a long time. It's much influenced by China as well. Most of the, what we call the materials or the ornaments are brought from China when they first built this temple. Some of these cafes are now opening up again. They were closed for quite a while. It's an Indian restaurant selling the usual nasi kandar. This one is also one of my favorite places, selling porridge. I used to come here after the night out, up and open again. Yeah. One of the best places for you to have Hokkien mee. Very famous raw mee and Hokkien mee in Penang. It's not so busy right now, but once it gets darker, a lot of people will come around. Across the road here is the whole building is actually an aquarium where you can actually buy your pet fish. It was quite busy at one point, but now it's open from 10 to 7. Yeah, it's still operating. I don't personally have an aquarium at home, but I have visited this place before. Lots of fish for you to fish from. Okay, I'm going to use a pedestrian crossing here. As I mentioned, we don't have many pedestrian crossing. You need to press the button and then wait for it to turn green before you can cross. This is the Tune Hotel. Tune Hotel is actually part of the Air Asia's property. I don't think it's doing too good now because Air Asia is on the verge of collapsing. I hope it can be revived. I'm not too sure. Yeah, you can see there are many small hotels. The Frame Hotel just in front of us. Many of these old buildings has been repainted, and but a lot of maintenance to be done because most of the materials are wasting away. So a lot of money has been put in to restore this kind of building. I will take the other lane and then make a loop to Northern Road. Right in front of us, we will come to a very big food court. It used to be an entertainment center with cinemas and bars and cafe, but now everything comes under one roof. It's called the New World Park. If you really want to taste Penang street food, this is the place to be because it has almost everything that you need to taste or to try in Penang particularly. As you know, Penang is very famous for hawker and street food. I will just go walk across to show you. It's even popular with the locals as well. The price is slightly more expensive for the local standard, but it's not exorbitant. Yes, actually done up the place quite nicely. water fountains and place to sit. It's a very famous ice kacang, or we call shredded ice, mixtures with red beans and syrups. Quite popular with young people. This area used to be quite busy. There are some karaoke lounges and a small cafe, but lately, because of the pandemic, things have died down a bit. There used to be another restaurant right across on the right hand side, but they have moved away now. Quite popular for wedding function and banquet dinner. Oh, okay, they still have the karaoke here. Oh, it's called loudspeaker, family karaoke. Yeah, you got young people coming in, renting a room and then singing. Yeah, it's a new pub. This pub has been operating for more than 6 months now. Beers are relatively cheap. It's called Route 66. I think we have this brand, this kind of outlet in US as well, after the same namesake. Don't see many people inside. This is one of the restaurants here is quite famous for banana leaf, Passion of Kerala. This guy he has operated in another place, and he moved in here many years ago as the place is nicer and bigger. So it's trying to open up again. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just to show you the overall scene of the food court. I'm not going because I need to register. I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to eat. So as you can see, it's a huge place. Lots of food stall and coffee stall. This is you can see all the elderly people, folks gathering around for their evening drink, because the beers here are quite cheap compared to some other outlets. So they're just enjoying themselves with their friends. So here you are, if you are interested in street food in Penang, you can just come over and see. We have Vietnamese food, hot plate, chao pan, Penang fried kway teow, Hokkien mee, and Indian food, roti canai and whatnot. Okay, I'll move on to another area.
这一次我真的睡着了。
There are some small little outlets that have come back to life. More popular with the youngsters who are here to share how much to drink. Of course, they do have alcohol service as well, but mainly cater for youngsters who are coming in with their dates and girlfriends. A lot of bistros and cafes in this area. Not an easy place to find a parking lot. The whole area is called Nago Square. Nago Square. Lots of eateries, lots of cafe and bistros. And this one here is selling whips. Some of these places I'm not too sure what they're still operating. They are all restaurants and cafes. Yeah, this is one operated by my girlfriend's friend. It's called Tipsy All Day. I don't see anyone getting tipsy at this point. Still very empty. Yeah, we do have an array of cafe and pub on the way. There's a boy operating, sitting there. Okay, here you go. That's just an orientation walkthrough. I'm moving on to Abu City Lane, not Abu City Lane, Hutton Lane.
Thank you.
Yeah, from Hutton Lane I will cut across to the Northern Road area. Along Hutton Lane there are also a lot of cafe, plenty of them. I think easily there'll be about 10 to 15 outlets. Many of them were closed for several months due to the pandemic, but lately they are coming back. I guess the landlord may have given them some moratorium or probably paying half the rental. Some may be given free rental. Otherwise it will be difficult to survive during this difficult period. And this is a steamboat restaurant, La Maisie. Yeah, it's open. There's a nice sign, good. I personally love to see this outlet opening up again because it gives vibrant to the city. But the traffic is a problem because once everything is up and running, you get a lot of people from other states coming into Penang because of the food. Yeah, and there's not much space to expand. I'm talking about the road. The government has actually approved the light rail transit system, but somehow the project did not take off. So let's hope. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier on, you can see there are a lot of these coffee outlets, Tiger Sugar, Meetup. But a few of them has closed down. I'm not sure whether they will revive this. Yeah, both sides of the road, left and right. Suchawan and such. This one was run by my student, one of my former students. I think it's still open, but I'm not sure why tonight it's not open. Good day, good time. Green, Villa Green. Hutton, Shenyuan is all Chinese food. This is a very nice cafe and bistro. It's called Chill with Classic. They have quite an array or selection of cigars as well. I think they do have a live band now, but not the full band, just in an acoustic band. It's a very old hotel, new Savoy hotel, more popular for the salesperson. They come by for one night or two and get their business done, and then they move on. So it's in a very old building. See, most of the building here are repainted. This is the new World Park from the front, from the other side. On the left hand side is the Japanese restaurant, Toyotai Cafe. I have been here a few times. It belongs to a lady boss who married a Japanese husband, and I think they are separated now. The husband left this place for her. In fact, she said she bought it over from the husband. I don't know what the story all about. Anyway, it's quite a nice place. They do serve Japanese beer, sake and all that. Nice Suntory beer. So as you see, there are along most of this lane, they do have small mosques, you know, caters for the local community within this area. These are actually built by those earlier traders. This one here, I believe, was built by the Indian Muslim traders when they first came to Penang. It's called Masjid Jame'. Jalan Hatin. It's actually Jalan Hutton. I think the spelling is not right there. So it's been around for quite a long time. I do not know what year it was established. These two restaurants only open up in the morning until late lunch hour, 2 p.m. The one across is very famous for kway teow soup, dark kway teow soup, and they have special fish ball, homemade fish ball, which is really nice. I used to come here every week, but not so often now. Okay, we are still along Hutton Lane. Just like what we saw the other day in my last video, along the Heritage Enclave. Most of the shop now close early, but it's a local barber. Yeah, okay, it's doing quite well. You can see there's some business in there as well. Sadly, many of them were hired from India and they had to return to their home country because when the shop were closed for more than a year, many of the shop owners could not afford to pay them, so many of them opted to go back to India. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, these are very old colonial houses. When the government gave this repeal act, those houses here are actually rented out initially by the house owner or the association who owned most of the houses of this nature, and they were not allowed to increase the rent. Some of these houses were rented out for generations, you know, and the owner just get a very meager sum of money out of the rent. Some even as low as 20 to 50 ringgit a month, which is actually, I would say, free. So when the Repeal Act came about, whereby the owner is allowed to take back the building by giving the tenant significant amount of time to move out. Otherwise, they can have the legal right to increase the rent according to commercial rate. So soon after that, many of the former tenants were actually hawkers and who do not belong to the high income group. They have to move out to the suburbs, which is much cheaper. So here the rentals are now quite expensive, and the houses actually, the price or the what I call the sale price for most of these shop lots just increased exponentially from then on. Most of these houses now fetch about 800,000 to 1.5 million, some even 2 million Malaysian dollars or Malaysian ringgit. Many of these houses were actually bought up by some consortium from Singapore, and they will buy up the whole row, refurbish, renovate, and then turn them into a boutique hotel. There are quite a lot of them in Penang right now. Some are already up and operating. Some are still under renovation stage. So it actually makes the place look nicer now. This is one example that I mentioned earlier, Hutton Hotel. It was used to be different, what we call traders, commercial traders who are doing the business here. But this has been bought up. Right across there, it has been bought up by the Penang group, and they have actually put up 2 more stories. But right now I don't think it's doing too well. Okay, I'm moving on to this road here, which will lead me to Northern Road, and after which I will just go over to meet up with my friend in one of the cafes. Yeah, right in front of us is the Malia Bakery. This is, I think, probably the 3rd generation bakers from their grandfather stage. They've been operating for more than 100 years, I was told in when I read the history. During the pandemic, they were quite generous. They supplied breads to most people who could not afford. These are all homemade bread. We call it roti Bengali, or the Indian bread. It's very good to spread with jam or butter. Quite cheap. I think a loaf would not cost you more than 1 ringgit. Again here, another building which has been revived, and renovated nicely. This here Blue Ocean is a beer distributor, northern beer distributor for Nestle Group. I'm not sure what they supply. I think they supply Tigers and Guinness. This is an Islander hotel, a lodge. When this building was under renovation stage, it actually collapsed at one point, and one guy was trapped inside, and he did not survive. So I'm not too sure whether you want to stay in this hotel. So that's the story behind this particular hotel here. And there are a lot of small 3-star hotels along this road. Yeah, you can see most of the buildings are almost the same. Right there, the Livingston Tower is also a very huge hotel. I seem to know the hotel owner as well. I actually came, it was my badminton, we played badminton together. I did see him once in a while. The Journey Hotel, I think it has changed hands many times already. Has been refurbished again lately. Looks nice and opening up. So hopefully things are working out well. On the right hand side, there used to be a very old Chinese restaurant. Again, few generations, and sadly they could not maintain during the COVID pandemic, and is now no, not this one, it's the other one over there, I'm sorry, closed for good. And they have, I'm not sure whether they have moved out to somewhere else, but as I read the paper or in the mainstream or the media, they have decided to call it a day. It's quite sad because they cook really nice dishes, cheap and nice. Yeah, see, the block over there is now up for rental. Used to be very popular with the local. The building is just the corner one. So any one of you interested to take over this, maybe can be turn it into a small backpack hostel or whatnot. This is another new hotel coming up. It's taken a few years already to build. So I think it's about maybe 80 or 85% near completion. But this is for future. I think Penang will not die. Once the pandemic is over or is contained, people will flock back and business will return as usual. Next to it is also another very old hotel. It's Regal Malaysia. Yeah, they do have some foot massage. Well, this building here has a long history. It used to be a school, house, a Chinese school, if not mistaken, a primary school. And many a time it has been taken over with several proposals or projects to be done. The last was they wanted to build a columbarium here, and there were a lot of protests by the merchant and people who are operating business around the vicinity. They say it's a bad feng shui to operate a columbarium where you put dead bodies in there. It's rumored to be haunted. So if you're there, you may come here at midnight and roam around and see whether you have company to entertain you. I personally have not been into it, so it's been left in the ruin for so long. It's such a wide space, big piece of land here. I think it's better idea to build a huge hotel or whatnot. But again, if you revive the place, it looks good. It's a very classic colonial building. You know? So you see all the bushes or shrubs are growing around it, but it's not that messy. We are coming to the seaside, the Malacca Street. Most of these houses are bungalows pre-colonial day or during the colonial day, where I think most of them are built by the British, right on the full stretch of this northern road. And right in front is the iconic, one of the oldest hotel in Penang, the E&O Hotel, or the Eastern and Oriental Hotel. Again, I guess it was built by the earlier British settlers in Penang. It has been refurbished. In fact, the whole building was redone, repainted, but they do maintain all the antiques and the furniture in the hotel. It's one of the more expensive hotels to stay in. If you like to have a little bit of memory, particularly from the people who are from UK, they remember this place quite well. Lately, I think a few years back, they have extended the wings as well. Those are new blocks. A lot of banquet parties are held there. Seaside wedding. It's quite nice. It is mentioned 32 restaurant by the sea. It's nice if you want to come over, sit near to the seaside and have dinner, drink a couple of beers and watch the sunset and the open sea. I'll try to dash over for a moment so that you see there are a lot of cars. That's a E&O Hotel, very old, one of the iconic hotels in Penang. There seems to be any opportunity for me to cross. Oh, I can see one right now. Okay, here we go. Quite a quick dash over to the other side. Just let you see that this is a very nice place for you to come by and relax and enjoy the sea breeze. This one will take the entrance here will take you to the main dine-in area of the restaurants, but not many people want to go in there because they prefer to sit by the sea. Yeah, here we go. They do have actually another restaurant outside where you can order your drinks and food. Yeah, and these are the area that you can sit. They do actually have chairs and table right to the fringe of the sea. Well, I'm not going in, I have to scan, so this is just an overall view for you to see. Yeah, ample parking space, no charge. So yeah, it's very convenient. So we walk on to the restaurant. This place I'm going used to be a boutique hotel. I'm not sure whether it's still operating, but there is a restaurant downstairs which serves quite nice Western food and some Chinese food as well. It's called the Luxus Restaurant and Cafe. This is a Toyota Lexus showroom. Yeah. This, at one point, this area here used to be a discotheque, a very big one. That was during my younger days. I used to come around here as well, but now it has been converted into a sales car center or car showroom. Next to it is the Mercedes showroom. This is a cemetery where a lot of British were buried here, the early settlers. I need to cross as well again, just to show you. There you go, very old cemetery. It's a Christian cemetery right in the middle of the city. This would have been a very expensive plot of land if you were to take it over. But the government has decided to preserve it and maintain it as it is. As what we see probably 150 years ago. So this is the cemetery plot of land right here along Northern Road, just overlooking the E&O Hotel. You do get people from overseas coming in to visit their loved ones. Place is quite well kept, I guess. There you go. Actually miss my place. It's just right at the other corner. I have overshot. So I'll make a U-turn. In fact, I wanted to show you the other end of this road, which is called the Upper Penang Road, which used to be bustling with activities and lots of pubs and drinking outlet. But these days it's died down a little bit. Hopefully we can see a revival soon. So anyway, I will take you to that part of the of the city the next time around. I have to move back to where I'm supposed to go. So we are backtracking, coming back to the graveyard area now.